Hello and welcome to Unit 3. Today we're working on our lesson Color Theory and we're going to be working on an acrylic painting. To do that, we need to make sure we have our materials ready. So I have a whole list of materials there on the screen that we need to talk about and get organized so that we are prepared to start this project. So the first thing on the list there is the acrylic paint. If we're looking at our art kit that we received, the first pull-out drawer here is a bunch of acrylic paint. And on the other side, we have our brushes. For me, this is a really nice set. We're going to stick this on top of the art set and I'll push that out of my way. So I have those nice and handy. If you have your own brushes, I have a whole bunch of my own brushes, and you may have some of your own brushes as well. You can feel free to use those brushes. We will talk about brush care. And so if you really take care of your brushes, they can last a really, really long time. Okay, so that's the first thing, is the paint and the brushes that we need. The next thing on our list is a piece of canvas board. So this is a little thicker material. It feels like a fabric that has been painted. So this is our canvas board. We need one of these for our final piece. So we're going to use that. And then we are going to do a color wheel worksheet. And so you received this acrylic pad, and this is a heavyweight acrylic paper. And so you're going to open this up and just carefully tear out one of those pages. So I have one of those pages then that we're going to use here to get started with our project as well. The next thing on our list is a paint palette. And in your kit, you got a paint palette that looks like this. And this is a fabulous paint palette. The problem is at the end of the day, our painting is going to take more than one day. We need to be able to seal and store our paint. So if you have plastic wrap, you can put plastic wrap over that and then just make sure that you're sealing those edges really nice and well. I find that this is a little bit cumbersome. I do have more plastic wrap if I need more plastic wrap. So I find that this is a little bit cumbersome. And so what I like to do rather than put the plastic wrap over top of this kind of a palette is I will actually just find an old plastic container. And what I will do is I will flip this over and I'll use the lid. I'll put my paint on the lid. When I'm done painting for the day, I take the bottom and I put it on top and I snap that down into place so that I know that my paint is sealed and air is not going to get to it and dry it out, so that I have those mixed colors that I can use the next time. So I will probably use my plastic container for my paint palette. The next thing on our list is a water cup. And so another little handy plastic container. I like this because it does have a lid. You can see I've used this lid as a paint palette before. But I like this because I can seal this when I'm not using this so that I don't bump it and knock it over in my workspace with our computers. So I have my little handy water cup with lid, and I don't have a sink in my studio. So what I like to do, I have to get rid of the water somehow, but what I like to have is nice, fresh, clean water that I can use at any point. And so I just use an old water bottle, fill it up with some water, and I have that sealed and tight on my desk so that I have new fresh water anytime I need it. We're going to need some paper towels. Paper towels are great because they're going to help us dry off our brushes, keep things nice and clean, and if we do have a mess, we can clean up. So I have a nice roll of paper towels here as well. And then the last thing that might come in handy is some kind of placemat. So this is my gluing placemat, but would work for painting too, just so that I have something that's a little bit bigger than my painting that I can put that on top of, and as I'm painting, I can paint to the edges and off the edge, and my placemat's going to take care of that so that I don't paint on my table. We want to keep our work surface nice and clean, and that placemat will help with that. I think that's it. Let's go back to our list here real quick. Acrylic paint brushes, canvas, one more sheet of that acrylic paper, your paint palette of some kind, whatever works for you, and a water cup, some water, paper towels, and a placemat. I think we've got it all there. You're going to need things like a pencil too to do your drawing, so just make sure you have a pencil and an eraser handy always. But other than that, I think we have everything that we're going to need. So if you have any questions or concerns about any of these materials moving forward, please reach out and let me know. I'll be happy to walk through or kind of problem solve if you have any of those concerns. Otherwise, enjoy the process.